My name's Eddie Martin, and today David Walker has brought his Fat Tone amps over for me to try out. So if I just talk you through the controls on this, the single 10, this one, as I say, was made to David's own specification as a harp player. So this is the prototype single 10 Fat Tone amp. It's got gain, bass, middle, treble, volume. It's got reverb, tremolo and tremolo speed, standby and power. If I just play a little bit, you can hear some of the differences on the response of these different knobs. So I've got gain close to the maximum there. If I put it right up, I'll take the volume down. So you can get it very, very gritty if you want that. But I mean, the thing I like about it is that even though you can dial in a lot of distortion, a lot of compression, it still doesn't sound like that transistorized distortion that you get, which I hate, you know. So I would normally dial in about 10 o'clock, put the gain on 10, and the volume you can just adjust, because it keeps its EQ characteristics. Once you set the gain, the volume control just takes you up and down volume wise, but it stays pretty true EQ wise, which is a good thing in having the separation of the gain and the volume, because as you know, if you're used to using vintage amps where you've just got a volume control, you can only get you know, it's much more difficult to get that variation in volume if you've got the compression that you want. So on these it's a lot easier. So there's plenty of volume there, and the gain is, as I say, at 10 o'clock. The volume is only really about a third of what it can do. So that's really quite a loud amp, and that's a good sound, I think. Bass I've got on full. Middle, there's a middle on this one. It's not on the twin. I didn't really want middle on the twin, but this one's got a middle. That's on full. I've taken the treble down a bit. That's quite a distorted sound for me, quite a bit too much, but it gives you the demonstration of the colour that brings in. Treble. That's now on full. That's a bit too much for most playing styles, but it gives you an indication of the range you've got. Reverb. Plenty of reverb on this one. Tremolo, it's a bit of an odd one for a harmonica, I find, but it's there if you want it. So obviously I'm playing straight, I'm not using any vibrato, I'm letting the amp do the vibrato for you, using the tremolo volume. This is on full tremolo volume. Quite a nice tremolo sound. Change the speed on the tremolo. There you go. I'll change over to the twin now. The twin's got less knobs on this one. I should have mentioned also the high and low EQ inputs as well. Both amps have got that. This is one that's the prototype that's being developed to my spec really, and you can see that this one's just got bass and treble. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible, along the lines of the early vintage valve amps, which we know are tried and tested as great sounding harmonica amps. So with this one, I think the simplification in the tone controls really, I think, gives you most of what you got on that one, but in a more sort of friendly harmonica settings really. So bass and treble on this one give me all the things that I look for from being a basement player. I'll give you a little demo. So putting the bass up full. Nice, lovely, warm, bassy sound. So I dial in a bit more treble. Now that sounds great to me. This has got reverb and tremolo also.